I'm Ron Brown. Welcome. I'll be your host today. This is September the 25th. It is a rainy day on Vancouver Island, a little island off the west coast of Canada where I'm from, and I think we're getting rain all down the west coast. So I'm always happier to be in the office today when it's raining out, so I don't feel bad about not being out doing gardening in the sun. But we've got a great show for you today. I'll introduce everybody in just a minute. We have, of course, two shows a week. We do this show, which is, of course, a Zoom show that we broadcast out to YouTube. But we also on Thursday have a Tech News of the Week, which is not a Zoom meeting. We broadcast that out from StreamYard out to YouTube and Facebook. If you want to join us on Thursday, be sure and drop by. We have on our website, you'll see the link to the show. And we have a lot of fun. We talk about tech news, and the usual gang is there. We also video this. We record this. I'll have the permanent video up later on this afternoon. So please, if you want to go back and look at some things and you're not quite sure what happened, you want to play it again, we record these and you can go back and use them. We have, of course, our newsletter, which comes out on Tuesdays and Saturdays. The Tuesday newsletter sort of tells you what's happening in the week and all the services we're doing that week. And on Saturday, of course, we have the agenda that we have today that you can watch, and you can see what's going to happen prior to it occurring. As I mentioned earlier, and I will be doing a bit of a video about this today, there's a new feature in Zoom. If you go down to the bottom, you'll see it says notes. Now you won't see this if you're on a Chromebook, and because it's not, the feature is not available yet on a Chromebook. But if you and you have to have a current version of Zoom. But if you do and you see notes, if you click on notes, and you'll see on the top right it says, "Do you want to collaborate?" And then you click that, you'll see I'm sharing my document with you, and you can see the agenda that we have today. Speaking of that, I'll bring up my notes. And so today we also have for our premiere video, which will be at about 1/2 we have, of course, Mike Ungerman will be talking about his solar energy for your home, part 5. I'll be talking about editing movies in Google Photos. There's some pretty cool tricks you can do. And Hewie's going to talk all about traffic cams, and that's today on our premiere video, and we'll be showing that at 1/2 right after the show. The link is in the notes, which you can see, or I'll be putting it as well in the chat. So I think that's where we are so far. Let's catch up with everybody and introduce everybody. Hewie, are you feeling 100% now? Unmute. I'm going to remove this.
Yeah, I'm. There we go. No, I'm not. I think it's time to go back to the doctor and see what else they can do for me.
Make you better. Okay. All right. A busy week, and you're on deck next week, eh?
Yep. And I'm all set. I've got a video ready to go for me, and of course, Chris Gould is here on the 1st and the 3rd Monday, so she'll be here, and it'll be a good show next week. But of course, let's worry about that later. This is today, and we've got a good show for today as well. And I do want to mention about the newsletter. If you're not subscribing to that newsletter that we do Tuesdays and Fridays, or Tuesdays and Saturdays, you're missing out on some good articles. And make sure you read it. Each of us put an article in once a week. We have different days. Some are on Saturday, some are on Tuesday. But the articles are excellent every week. So, and not only is there news about Tech for Senior, but there's general technology news that in the newsletter that we don't talk about in the meeting. So it's a good source for some more information for you.
And Huey, there are no advertisements, and
just ours, yeah.
and we do not let anybody close to that database, so it is top secret. So you're not gonna get any spam or anything like that. So it is just our newsletter, just us talking to you. All right, that's good. Bob, are you're back in the saddle now? You were away for a couple of weeks. How does it feel to be back? Is that your new, did you move or something? What's your background?
No, that's still the view you guys have seen for, heck, I've now been out here for 20 years and the mountain doesn't change. Yes, I actually kneeled down to take this picture because that's just some wild grass that I took the picture through, but it's still the same place. You can't always have the same picture. You need to make some changes somewhere. And here there was some wild grass growing, and I said, "Ooh, this is great." I can just get down on my knees and take a picture right through it.
There you go. Looks cool. Looks good. All right. And Bill James, where I don't know why I can't find. Oh, you went out and came back. Did you get your power back up, or what's going on with the internet in Oklahoma?
You're muted, Bill.
Yeah, for the past several days, Cox has had issues with the internet, and it goes out and comes back in. And I always lose it at a most inopportune time. I'm not sure what's going on, but they've been working on it since Thursday, I think. Maybe it may have been Wednesday, I think, when it first started. I don't know what the problem is.
Because Oklahoma's a big hub, eh? Like, there's lots of traffic through there.
Yeah, we have quite a bit.
All right. Well, at least you're back.
Newsletter, I was going to just say, my articles are solely for entertainment. So, and they come with a disclaimer.
The disclaimer, but we do like you spending money. We like to spend people's money, right?
But no guarantees.
But they are some cool articles, and they're really good. But Bill, a lot of them I already own. I already own those gadgets.
Well, you're more of a gadget person than I am, so
yeah, there you go.
That explains it. But we always have fun.
It's always great. Yeah, great. I think that your best one so far is the popcorn popper. I was talking to someone. Oh, Byron, he's watching the show. I was talking to him on Saturday. He says, Ron, he says, that popcorn popper, I use that every night. Yes, indeed. There we go. All right, we should get going. We have a really big meeting to get through. Bob, do you want to take it away?
Let's get going. Here is my security news roundup for the week ending September 22nd, 2023. Microsoft AI researchers accidentally expose 38 terabytes of confidential data. Microsoft on Monday, 9/18, said it took steps to correct a glaring security gaffe that led to the exposure of 38 terabytes of private data. The leak was discovered on the company's AI GitHub repository and is said to have been inadvertently made public when publishing a bucket of open source training data, Wiz said. It also included a disk backup of 2 former employees' workstations containing secrets, keys, passwords, and over 30,000 internal Teams messages. The repository, named Robust Models Transfer, is no longer accessible. Read more at thehackernews.com. Trend Micro releases urgent fix for actively exploited critical security vulnerability. Cybersecurity company Trend Micro has released patches and hotfixes to address a critical security flaw in Apex One and worry-free business security solutions for Windows that has been actively exploited in real-world attacks. Tracked as CVE 2023-41179, CVSS score of 9.1. It relates to a third-party antivirus uninstaller module that's bundled along with the software. The complete list of impacted products is as follows: Apex One version 2019 on-premise, Apex One as a service, and Agent version 14.0 12.637, Worry-Free Business Security version 10.0 SP1, and Worry-Free Business Security Services. If you're using the product, make sure it's updated to fix the vulnerability. Read more at thehackernews.com. Cybergroup ℎ𝕠𝕟 selling compromised access to ransomware attackers. A financially motivated threat actor has been outed as an initial access broker that sells access to compromised organizations for other adversaries to conduct follow-on attacks, such as ransomware. SecureWorks Counter Threat Unit has dubbed the e-crime group ℎ𝕠𝕟, which is also known by the names Profit Spider, CrowdStrike, and UNC 961 Mandiant. This financially motivated group has been active since at least 2017, compromising organizations by exploiting vulnerabilities in unpatched internet-facing servers, the cybersecurity company said. Read more at thehackernews.com. Ukrainian hacker suspected to be behind free download manager malware attack. The maintainers of Free Download Manager have acknowledged a security incident dating back to 2020 that led to its website being used to distribute malicious Linux software. It appears that a specific web page on our site was compromised by a Ukrainian hacker group, exploiting it to distribute malicious software, it said in an alert last week. Only a small subset of users, specifically those who attempted to download FDM for Linux between 2020 and 2022, were potentially exposed. Less than 0.1% of its visitors are estimated to have encountered the issue, adding it may have been why the problem went undetected until now. Users who find the backdoor and the information stealer in their machines are required to reinstall the system. Read more at thehackernews.com. The latest Windows 11 update will help you ditch passwords for good. Microsoft's incoming Windows 11 update will introduce public support for passkeys, a passwordless login technology that instead uses your face, fingerprint, or device PIN to sign into accounts. Announced at Microsoft's AI and Surface launch event on Thursday, the latest Windows 11 update, available from September 26th, will allow users to create, manage, and store passkeys and use them to access supported websites and services using their device's own authentication systems. Microsoft began testing passkey management in the Windows Insider Developer channel back in June. So this Windows 11 update is bringing the technology into general availability. Read more at TheVerge.com. T-Mobile users say other people's account information is appearing in their app. Some T-Mobile customers have mentioned seeing information from several other accounts, but the scale of the issue isn't yet clear. It's prevalent enough that the T-Mobile subreddit has asked its users to avoid posting any further information for security reasons. T-Mobile later blamed the issue on a technology update glitch and said the problem has been fixed as of Wednesday afternoon. There was no cybersecurity attack or breach at T-Mobile. This was a temporary system glitch related to a planned overnight technology update involving limited account information for fewer than 100 customers, which was quickly resolved, T-Mobile spokesperson Tara Darrow said in a statement emailed to The Verge. Read more at TheVerge.com. Beware of Elon Musk giveaway scams on TikTok. TikTok has been inundated with a deluge of fake cryptocurrency giveaways that have proliferated across the video sharing platform. These scams predominantly masquerade as themes related to Elon Musk, Tesla, or SpaceX. The allure of quick and easy cryptocurrency gains has made these scams a persistent and alarming threat. The deceptive trend isn't new. Threat actors have been orchestrating fake cryptocurrency giveaways on social media platforms like Instagram and Twitter for years. These scams cunningly pose as giveaways from celebrities and cryptocurrency exchanges and impersonate Elon Musk or SpaceX. Read more at thehackernews.com. This week's must-see on my YouTube channel. Browser push notifications are on the rise. Here is some timely and important information from Avast to help you control this latest increasing potential threat. For more information, please watch my video on that topic by following the link listed. Did you know? The real name for a hashtag is an octothorpe. The octo refers to the 8 points in the symbol, but according to the Merriam-Webster dictionary, the thorpe part is a mystery. Because people carry their phones in their back pockets all the time, Samsung created a robot that is shaped like a butt to sit on the phone to make sure they can take the pressure. Fight for things that you care about, but do it in a way that will lead others to join you. Thanks to Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Just thought you might want to know. And that's a wrap for this week's Security News Roundup. Stay safe, stay secure, and I'll see you again soon. And thanks for watching and listening. Bye-bye. It's not fun to think about, but if you should unexpectedly die, could your spouse, partner, children, or other loved ones access your bank accounts, online credit card portals, retirement accounts, and social media accounts? If not, it's time to share your passwords, login information, and location of your most important personal and financial information with at least one loved one, so that your relatives and beneficiaries can access your accounts should you pass away. Consider it a pre-death plan to make life easier for your spouse, children, or other relatives after your death. Here's why someone needs access to your accounts. If you die and you are the only one who knows the passwords to your online mortgage and credit card portals or bank accounts, what happens if your survivor needs to access these accounts? If you've always handled your home loan payments, will your spouse be able to log onto your mortgage company's website to make your monthly mortgage payment? Will your children be able to log into your bank account to access money to pay for your funeral expenses? Will your partner be able to continue making car loan payments on the vehicle you share? If you've overseen paying your bills, you might not have shared most or any of your online accounts' login information with others. That can cause problems for your spouse, partner, or children after you die. Then there are your social media accounts. You might not care what happens to these accounts after you die. But your children or partner want to close these accounts after you pass. They may even want to post a message to your followers stating that you have died. If they don't have access to the username and passwords of these accounts, how can they do this? Don't put your password in your will. It's smarter to create a master list of your most important usernames and passwords that your survivors can access. But don't list this information in your will. Why? Your will becomes a public document after your death once it's filed with your area's local probate court. This means anyone can access your will and your usernames and passwords. They just need to visit your local county clerk's office to request a copy of it. And if you included your usernames and passwords in your will, then curious members of the public can find them. What can you do with your passwords? You do have options, though. The easiest way to pass on your important online account information is to write it down. You can store this list in a safe place, like keeping it in a safe deposit box, and state its location in your will. You can also state who should have access to your list. It's important to designate the specific survivor who you want to access your online accounts after you die. This might be your spouse, one of your children, another relative, or even a friend. You might also choose more than one person with whom to share your account information. Your list of online account information should include the following: login information to your phones, computers, and other devices. Login information to your online bank accounts. The passwords and usernames for your credit card portals. The usernames and passwords to your mortgage provider if you pay your mortgage online. Information on how to access your phone's voicemail. A list of your online subscriptions, such as streaming services, antivirus software, magazine subscriptions, and information on how to access and cancel these. Access to your online cable and cell phone accounts. The login information for your social media accounts. Consider a password manager. If you want to make life even simpler for your survivors, consider investing in a password manager. If you do, you can then save just one master password that you can share with your survivors after you die. A password manager is a software application that stores and manages passwords for the sites that you visit. A password manager will store all your passwords in one encrypted database, and you access this database by entering one master password. With a password manager, you'll need to memorize just one password to access every password you use. This single password will unlock your password manager's vault, letting you retrieve every password saved in it. Instead of compiling a lengthy list of your online account passwords, you'll just have to write down one. If you do decide on a list, save that paper with that list in a safe place. Again, a safe deposit box will work and include information on who can access it and how that person or people can get to it in your will. The bottom line, don't keep your passwords a secret after you pass away. You don't want to share your passwords with strangers while you're alive, of course. But after you die, you might need to grant some of your survivors access to your financial accounts. It's essential to save your passwords and usernames in a safe place and share this information with a family member, spouse, child, or friend. Otherwise, you might force your survivors to overcome a series of obstacles to accessing your key financial and personal accounts. My thanks to Dan Rafter for sharing this advice. You'll find his article on the Avast blog at the link listed. Stay safe, stay secure, be prepared, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye, and thanks for watching and listening. My apologies, I picked the wrong video, so we'll make some changes on the fly.
It's all good stuff, right? Not a problem. All right, I want to talk about housekeeping today. So let's talk housekeeping. It's Ron Brown with Tech for Senior. Today's video I've titled Housekeeping. Now you're going to say, Ron, what are you talking about housekeeping for? Don't you have some robotic vacuums that do that job for you? Well, I do. And when we were out for lunch on Friday, all three of them cleaned the house. So I couldn't be happier. But the housekeeping duties I want to talk about today are not with my house. It's about some things happening at Tech for Senior. It's a good time that we can put them all together. They're little things I want to just go over and talk about so that we can all be on the same track. And the first thing and foremost is security. Security is so important that we keep you safe, we keep our show safe, and everybody on track. And for that, we are so thankful because we have our security expert, Bob Gostischa, who keeps us safe. And over the 4 years we've been doing Tech for Senior, of course, Bob has done an excellent job. And we only had, I think it was in our 3rd episode, where we got Zoomed bombed. Now that, of course, is not really possible today because of changes that Zoom has made. Now, most of the 70 or so people that come to the show each week are the same people every week, and we know who you are. We know if you log in under another name. We know if you use a Chromebook one day and a PC the other, and you log in with different names, because we know everybody. It's the same group that's been here for about 4 years. But we're getting new people. Each week I get about 5 or 6 people who log into our account through the week that are testing the waters and want to come and join our group. And that's great. We are really happy with that, and we really appreciate them coming. We want to see Tech for Senior grow. That's one of our big goals. But one of the problems we have is we really need to know who you are. So to do that, to know who you are, we need to know your first and last names. Now, this is so important when you're logging into a Zoom meeting. In your Zoom account, and I'll show you how to do this in a minute, you can set up your first and last name in your Zoom account. All right, let's look at how you would change your name if you had a Zoom account. Let's log into my account, which is here on my PC. If we come up to the top right-hand corner, you'll see my picture. Here I am. I'm going to click the picture, and we're going to click it again. And this brings us up to my profile, and then we can click. This is, of course, my picture, my name. We're going to click Edit. We come over here, and here's where you can change your display name right here. So you have a first name and last name on your account, but this is your display name, and you can change this. Click Save, and it's all done. You then go to join a meeting, and you're often in a waiting room waiting to come in. Well, you can't change your name in the waiting room. You didn't know that, but you can't. And if you think about it, there's probably some good security reasons why you don't want people changing their names in the waiting room. Then, of course, once you get admitted, you can change your name while you're in the meeting, and that often is helpful as well. All right, in this scenario, you're in a Zoom meeting. You'll see the Zoom meeting I have on the bottom of my screen here. I am a participant in the meeting. So you'll see my picture here. This is my name. And you'll come over and see 3 little dots on the side here. Click those 3 dots, and it says Rename. We now can then edit this and rename any name you want. Click Change, and it will change it. This is how you might be in a meeting. You've come in and you want to change your name for that specific meeting, and that's how you would do it. Remember, you cannot change your name if you're in the waiting room. Now, why would you want to change your name? Well, let's say, for example, I was at a medical convention and doing a presentation, and my name is Dr. Ronald Brown. Well, if I'm doing a talk on video editing at another meeting, I might just want to be Ron Brown. So on my master Zoom account, I could be Dr. Ronald Brown, but when I'm in the local Zoom account talking about video editing, I can simply change my name Ron Brown, or we're just Ron. So there are lots of reasons why you would want to change your name in a Zoom meeting. Now, again, this doesn't pertain really to the 70 people or so that are listening to this video today, because we know who you are. But if you are inviting friends, if you're new to the channel and just coming in, it's so important that we know who you are. For example, if someone just shows up at our doorstep and has a name like Badass Senior Citizen, well, you know, do we really want to let that person in? We're just not sure. Now, if you are coming to the meeting and you're brand new and you want to be called Badass Senior Citizen, that's totally okay. But if you can email me prior to the meeting, we'll make sure we'll make sure that you're welcomed and no problem getting in, but at least we know who you are. There also may be some situations where you don't particularly want people to know. Maybe there's an issue of anonymity, so that's okay too. Just email me again prior to the meeting and we'll identify you, know who you are, and there's no problem coming into the meeting. It's just, if you are a brand new person coming to the meeting, it is so important that we know what your name is. And so that, please make sure that you have your correct name in the Zoom meeting prior to coming in. Now, the third scenario is you may actually not have a Zoom account. In this situation, in your web browser, you go to zoom.us/join. You then enter the meeting ID provided and click join. And when you join, you'll do one of the following. You'll be prompted to allow Zoom to use your microphone and camera, and then you'll be asked to enter a display name and then click join. It's that display name which will be displayed for your user name in the Zoom meeting. Now, you can't change it again in the waiting room, but once you get into the meeting, you then can change it again to whatever you want, as previously described. The other thing that's helpful in the meeting, and this is really embarrassing and a personal problem I have, is knowing who you're talking to. In other words, you all know me, and I can pretty much remember all the 70 of you out there, but there are some of you who I talk to a lot, and I should know your name, but sometimes, you know, I have a senior's moment and I don't. And it's so helpful then if you have your correct name identified by your picture, and I can say, hey, Joe, what a great day, rather than trying to say, oh, what was that guy's name, and trying to remember it. So again, it's really helpful for our people working the meeting if we can see at least what your first name is. So in summary, please identify yourself by your first and last name in your Zoom account, and then we can all stay safe. The second thing is I've changed when you come into the waiting room, I've now put a new notice that you'll see. It's in yellow, and it identifies the meeting and the specifics of the meeting. I've put our new email address in there so that if you are having trouble logging in, you can send us an email to techforsenior.info@gmail.com. And I monitor that email right through the meeting. And if you are having problems getting in or there's some issues, dash an email off and we'll try and get you in as best we can into the meeting that day. So please keep in touch with us on that so that we can help you make sure you get into the meeting. Talk about is a pilot project where if you look down at the bottom of that, there is a new button called Notes, Notes. Now, you may not see that if you have a Chromebook and are using a PWA, and you do have to have a recent version of Zoom. All right, let's have a look how the new feature Notes is going to work in our Zoom meeting. You'll see here we have a Zoom meeting on my computer, and let's look at the bottom. As we come along, we'll find the new Notes is right here, and you will see this if you have the latest version of Zoom. It is not available on a Chromebook PWA. So let's click Notes, and this brings up a side panel. Now you'll see the notes that you should be seeing will be, this is the agenda for today. Now yours won't look exactly like that. When you look up at the top, it's going to ask you to collaborate with the document. You say yes, and this will display my notes for you. In other words, I'm sharing my note with you, and that's the collaboration. Now you say, well, I want to look at participants. That's fine. If we come over here and you click participants, it overlays over that, and you can come over again and just click notes and it will bring it up. This is pretty cool, and we're going to try this, and this gives you the agenda that you can follow as we go through the meeting. Again, you should be seeing this if you have a current version of Zoom, and again, it's not available on a Chromebook PWA. Okay, all right, Hewie, you're up.
All righty. Let's get to where we need to be. And I do want to preface this by saying that I'm talking about what's supposed to be released tomorrow. It's not going to be automatically installed. You have to do it manually. But there's some debate on some of the things that may or may not be available tomorrow. It may come later. But according to the articles I read, this is what's coming tomorrow, except I did leave out some things about the passkey that Bob mentioned in his session. But let me continue to find what I need. September 26th, 2023, tomorrow, Windows 11 23H2 arrives. I'm Hewie Poplock. Microsoft will release its next big Windows 11 update on September 26th. The update will include the new AI-powered Windows Copilot feature, a redesigned File Explorer, a new Ink Anywhere feature for pen users, big improvements to the Paint app, and much more. New Windows 11 update delivers over 150 new features, including bringing the power of Copilot to the PC. Microsoft's next step towards making Windows the destination for the best AI experiences, with a new update that delivers their most personal experience yet, coming on September 26th, tomorrow. Here's a look at some of what's new in the latest update for Windows 11 23H2. Copilot in Windows empowers you to create faster, complete tasks with ease, and lessens your cognitive load, making once complicated tasks simple. They have made accessing the power of Copilot seamless, as it's always right there for you on the taskbar or with the Win+C keyboard shortcut, providing assistance alongside all of your apps on all screen sizes at work, school, or at home. Pricing for individuals has not been announced. It'll be $30 per person on the corporate level, but no notice on the price for us as individuals. Copilot appears as a sidebar in Windows 11, allowing you to control settings on a PC, launch apps, or simply answer queries. It's integrated all over the operating system too. Use Copilot to write text messages using data from your calendar, navigation options in Outlook, and more. Paint has been enhanced with AI for drawing and digital creation, with the addition of background removal and layers, as well as a preview of Co-Creator that brings the power of generative AI to the Paint app. Photos has also been enhanced with AI, including new features to make editing your photos a breeze. With background blur, you can make the subject of your photo stand out quickly and easily. The Photos app automatically finds the background in the photo and with a single click instantly highlights your subject and blurs out the background. The Photos app is also now capable of playing the video portion of motion photos captured on Android devices from Samsung and Google. They've improved search. With photos stored in OneDrive, either the home or personal accounts, you can now quickly find the photo that you're looking for based on the content of the photo. You can also now find photos based on the location where they were taken. Snipping Tool now offers more ways to capture content on your screen. With this update, you can now extract specific text content from an image to paste in another application, or you can easily protect your sensitive information with text redaction by using text actions on the post capture screen. And with the addition of sound capturing using audio and mic support, it's easier to create compelling videos and content from your screen. Clipchamp, now with Auto Compose, helps you with scenes, suggestions, edits, and narratives based on your images and footage automatically, so you can create and edit videos to share with family, friends, and social media like a pro. Notepad will start automatically, saving your session state, allowing you to close Notepad without any interrupting dialogues, and then pick up where you left off when you return. Notepad will automatically restore previously opened tabs as well as unsaved content and edits across those open tabs. There's also Microsoft Designer integration, helping you to create all kinds of designs using natural language prompts, which you can then edit yourself. Microsoft Designer will also be available in Bing Chat. Even Clipchamp is getting some smarts with the ability to automatically create a video based on the clips you feed it. Additionally, Bing Image Designer is getting an update to use DALL-E 3. With the new Outlook for Windows, you can connect and coordinate your various accounts, including Gmail, Yahoo, iCloud, and more in one app. Intelligent tools help you write clear, concise emails and seamlessly attach important documents and photos from OneDrive. Windows 11 users can start testing new features in the Windows Photos, Snipping Tool, and Phone Link apps on September 26th. The update 23H2 will begin to roll out on that date. Modernized File Explorer. Introducing a modernized File Explorer home, address bar, and search box, all designed to help you more easily access important and relevant content, stay up to date with the file activity, and collaborate without even opening a file. The updated File Explorer user interface includes a modern home interface with large file thumbnails and a carousel interface that can surface recent files and favored ones. These changes make File Explorer blend in better with the overall Windows 11 design. Also coming to the File Explorer is a new gallery feature designed to make it easy to access your photo collection. New text authoring experiences to voice access and new natural voices in narrator, continuing an ongoing commitment to making Windows 11 the most accessible version of Windows yet. Windows Backup makes moving to a new Windows 11 PC easier than ever. With Windows Backup, transitioning most files, apps, and settings from one PC to another is seamless, so everything is right where you left it, exactly how you like it. An improved Windows backup app will now let you back up your PC when you want to migrate to a new device. This tool will automatically apply your existing settings to a new PC thanks to the backup in the cloud. Pinned apps on your Start menu and taskbar will also transfer, and any apps from the Microsoft Store will automatically be restored. These experiences, including Copilot in Windows and more, will start to become available on September 26th as part of the latest update to Windows 11 version 23H2. Windows 11 23H2. I'm Hewie Poplock. And one thing I did see on a couple of broadcasts this morning, that it looks like it's going to be $10 for Copilot with individual accounts. That raises the price of Microsoft 365 to about double what it is now if you want to use the Copilot.
Very good. Thanks, Hewie. We will see. Let's look and see what happened to curved TVs. This is Ron Brown with Tech for Senior. I'd like to thank Sydney Butler for his excellent article on what happened to curved TVs. This was published by How to Geek, and I've made it into a video for you. It's an interesting story. Let's have a look.
Why did curved TVs fail? September 3rd, 2023. Key takeaways. Curved TVs failed to deliver on their promise of an immersive viewing experience due to limited noticeable effects. Mounting curved TVs on walls was a challenging task. They also posed viewing angle problems, with the curve often distorting images unless viewed from the dead center, which detracted from the inclusivity of the viewing experience. Some things look great on paper but never really live up to all the hype. That sums up the story of curved TVs. Once hailed as the future of TV, they've quickly fallen out of favor, and for good reason. The immersion promise never materialized. When curved TVs first hit the market, manufacturers and marketing folks touted them as an immersive viewing experience that would rival the cinema. The idea was that the curve would surround your field of vision, drawing you into action like never before. But here's the rub. Most living rooms need to be tailored for this viewing experience. The curvature's effect was only noticeable at specific angles and distances. So, the grand promise of being inside the movie fizzled out faster than a microwave popcorn bag. Wall mounting is a pain. Ever tried hanging a picture frame that wasn't quite square with the wall surface? Imagine that, but 50 inches wide and hundreds of dollars more expensive. Curved TVs presented a real headache when mounting them on walls. Not only did they sometimes require specialized mounts, but they also left awkward gaps between the wall and the TV. It looked off kilter and didn't vibe with the aesthetic most folks wanted. These mounting woes were another nail in the coffin for curved TVs, in my opinion, as wall mounting developed a reputation for being the most attractive way to install a TV in living spaces. Viewing angles are a problem. While we're on right angles and flush fitment, let's talk about viewing angles. Curved TVs don't offer a uniform viewing experience from any seat in the house. The curve often distorted images unless you were sitting dead center. If you were relegated to the cheap seats at a friend's house, the viewing experience could be less than stellar. Instead of feeling more inclusive, the curve often made it feel like there was a right place to sit, and that's not exactly a recipe for a fun movie night. Image distortion. The curve also introduced a unique problem: image distortion. Straight lines could appear bent, and reflections were handled in weird ways that didn't look natural. This was particularly noticeable in scenes with many geometric shapes or during sports broadcasts where the lines on the field became unintentional optical illusions. Again, if you sat in the sweet spot, this wasn't all that noticeable, but for a device meant for viewing by a group of people, it's less than ideal. Dubious price premiums. A good rule to follow in the tech world is that you should only pay extra for something if it adds value. Curved TVs were often sold at a significant premium over their flat counterparts without offering tangible benefits to justify the higher price tag. Consumers caught on to this quickly, and many opted for high-quality flat-screen TVs instead, which offered better value for money and more apparent benefits for higher price tags. Most people prefer a better picture quality or sound than a curved screen. Curved computer monitors are still going strong. Ironically, while curved TVs have plummeted in popularity, curved computer monitors hold their own in the market. The difference? Scale and distance. When sitting close to a curved monitor, the effects are much more pronounced and enhance the viewing experience. Perhaps most importantly, monitors are usually single-user devices, which means you can maximize whatever benefits curved screens do have to offer. It's also worth mentioning that the curves for monitors are usually much more pronounced than for TVs, since they don't have to worry about people viewing it from extreme angles. The curve makes sense in the office or gaming setup, where space is limited and the viewer's position is more controlled. The concept isn't entirely flawed. The execution was just a bit of a curveball in the living room. Also, computer monitors come in ultra-wide aspect ratios, and the wider you go, the more a curve makes sense for a single user sitting in the sweet spot. It can help preserve color accuracy by ensuring you're always looking at the pixels toward the outer edges of an ultra-wide screen at the right angle. More extreme curved monitors can actually reach into your peripheral vision the way curved TVs were marketed. Well, at least you tried. Curved TVs were an ambitious idea that didn't pan out in the real world. From failing to deliver on the promise of immersion to issues with mounting, viewing angles, and image distortion, the curve was more of a hindrance than a help. Sometimes, it's okay to let the hype curve flatten out. Not every innovation is a home run, and curved TVs are a prime example. But hey, now we have rollable TVs and other wacky ideas inspired by experimentation with bending the rules of flat screens a little, and we wouldn't want to live in a world where everyone was just a square all the time.
There you go. Who had a curved TV? Bob, did you have a curved TV? You're muted.
I sure do.
I've got a
65
curved
inch
monitor.
And it's very happy.
I've got a curved monitor, but not a curved TV.
All right.
I had one of those 3D TVs that never went anywhere.
All right. We have to move on to our music outro. For those of you who are on our Zoom on our YouTube, watching on YouTube, if you want to come over to our Zoom meeting and participate in the Q&A, that would be great, because we're going to end our show for YouTube now. If you have to leave, don't forget our premiere video coming up, and maybe we'll see you on Thursday for our Thursday show. So let me just stop the live stream, and we should now. As you know, Ray is away. Ray is away, so he did leave me notes and what to do. So let's have a look. I did my best. I'm not Ray, but here's let's have a look here. Well, it's now time for our music outro. And Ray Baxter is still on holidays. I just got an email this morning, and I wanted to let everyone know he's doing fine. He's having a great holiday, and he'll be back early October. But he's left me a list of music outros to play for you, and this has great personal significance. So let me read what he wrote about this, and then I'll play the video. If the 60 is the new 40, 1,000 Stars by Cathy Young and the Innocents. Cathy Young was only 15 years old of age when she recorded the song 1,000 Stars, which rose to number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 charts in the late 1960s. At the time of the recording, Cathy was not made aware that this song was originally done by a Jamaica Queens, New York vocal group called the ℎ𝕬𝕝 in 1954. Providing the backup vocals on this song was a Southern California band called the Innocents. After raising a family, Cathy returned to the oldies music circuit. In the 1990s, she was signed to appear at a show in 2002 that Ray Baxter, was involved with. Here was my opportunity to have my picture taken with the beautiful Cathy Young. About a week before the scheduled show, I came down with Bell's palsy. This is a facial paralysis that affects one side of the face to include the eye and mouth muscles. Loud noises were particularly troubling. Bell's palsy is considered a viral infection, and there is no treatment other than to allow you to run its course, which can be from a few weeks to several months. The show was a huge success, and Cathy Young was terrific as she sang her signature song, as well as several others, to the delight of a crowd of about 250 people. I wasn't going to let something like Bell's palsy prevent my picture being taken with Cathy Young, and I gave it my best smile. Of course, the photo was taken in a time before digital cameras were the norm, and when the film was finally developed for me to see the photo, well, to say I was surprised as to how it looked would be an understatement. We live in a time when people, for the most part, are living longer and healthier. If 60 is the new 40, Cathy is the proof. This PBS video clip is from 10 years ago when Cathy was 66 years of age. The vocal group backing her up was the Earth Angels from Barcelona, Spain. Let's have a look at this. All right, let's have a look and play the video. There we go. All right. Yes, hopefully Ray watches the video. I'm sure he'll watch the show later on today. So that's his selection for today. All right. That is a wrap for our meeting today. I put a note in the chat for the premiere video and the link to the video. If we have any questions, we can certainly entertain them now. I see Carl's got his hand up. Just before we start, Carl, I did get a comment from Detlef, and he was having some trouble getting notes to show at the bottom of his screen. I'm not sure why that would be. It should be pretty simple.
I can get it all right. That's not a problem.
Right.
But when I click on it, you said I have to collaborate. There's no place where you can click to collaborate.
Oh no, okay. You're just seeing it. You're just seeing the document.
We are on the right hand side. There's your icon or your avatar,
and there's the
but
agenda underneath.
I cannot see, the list of what it's supposed to be. That's
so Detlef, you can't see the agenda.
Yep.
When was the last
Right.
time you updated your Zoom, Dallas? Because it needed to be
Yesterday.
updated yesterday, huh?
Yep.
Because it should, when you click notes, it should just bring the agenda up. You will have to say that you want to see the agenda, which I believe on most is to collaborate, and then it should just bring it up, and there's the list right on the right hand side.
When I
You can add to it or change it. All you can do is view it.
click on apps,
One thing I'll
it says
mention,
get a sent. Oops,
I
wrong
had
one.
a little bit of a problem seeing the notes myself, but my issue I figured out was my firewall, and I had to either correct the firewall or lower my settings on the firewall so that I could see the notes.
See,
That's
when
odd.
when I click on notes, it says share note, then it says Ron Brown with your picture, owner. Then it says link access and copy link, and that's it. It doesn't say anything else.
Can you click on it and then show the notes?
Click on what?
His name? Because mine shows
No,
TFS agenda, but if I
No, I
click on
can't.
it,
I can't even actually even click on it. I mean,
Okay.
the cursor doesn't change to a finger.
Right.
And
Yeah, Liff, are
I
you on
used
a
to be-
Windows? Are you on a Windows machine?
yes,
Okay.
Windows 10.
Yeah,
Don't know.
I just
Don't know.
lost that feature myself. I was
Uh,
able to a few minutes ago.
Yeah, maybe we'll have to see what happens next week. If you come out, we'll come back in and it relaunches.
Yeah.
There, it may change. It should. I think that most people didn't have a problem. Most people saw it and it was there.
I mean, it's a great thing to have if it works.
Oh,
Well, it
there
does.
it is.
It does. And the other thing that could be great is that anyone in the meeting can collaborate. You can have a document and you can create the document. So if you have some information you want to share with people, I mean, you could put it in the chat, but the thing about the chat is that not everyone sees it. You have to reinitiate the chat. All the people coming later
Right.
on don't see the original chat, but this is where
Ron?
you,
When I open up the notes, it says all notes. And then at the bottom, it says TFS agenda 9/25/2023. And when I
Yeah.
click on it, that then opens up the agenda
the agenda.
and it shows it. Right.
Okay.
But I'm also running the latest version of Zoom. So
Right.
it's possible that some of you don't have the latest version installed, and then you may not be able to do that.
Carl, do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, another great show worth the price of admission.
All right.
I'm answering Pam, I think it was Selby's question about the RF 90-degree connector. She wanted to know, I told her that she was having a problem, that what I suggested is that she eliminate the connector and see if the problem goes away. And it seems like she might have done that. But there is an issue with any kind of adapter. Relative to coax cabling, the coax cabling connector, what they put on the connector uses the center conductor of the cable, which is an 18 gauge wire. And when it goes into an existing female connector, there's springs in there, and the larger wire expands the springs and you don't have the tension. And when you put an adapter in, the pin in the adapter is a smaller diameter. So over time, the adapters may not work as well because they're not making as good a connection when they had been used previously with the center conductor connector from the wire. And that's a long story about why maybe adapters may not work as well. And the solution is, as I suggested, eliminate the adapter and see if the problem goes away. End of story.
thank you, Carol.
Yeah, also, Pam,
The
different
reason-
cables have different issues, and you might try a different cable. One maybe not as, if you're using a real inexpensive one, you might try a little bit better one and see if that helps.
Okay.
That's why Hewie, that every time the cable company comes out to do some work at my house, they replace all the adapters. It doesn't matter if they were here a week ago, the guys still come around, they replace all the adapters. They do that every single time they come. So I guess the springs in them just does wear out, but they just replace them all. Anyway, yeah. So any other questions? Hopefully, yeah, the notes I think has a great potential, and certainly anyone here you can put the notes in your. Oh, the other thing I wanted to mention to everyone, in the video I made about your name, there's actually, you don't need a Zoom account to join a Zoom meeting, which is interesting. But I would encourage everybody, if you don't have a Zoom account, is to get one, and they're free. I mean, there's a free account, but rather than just clicking the meeting ID and joining that way, and that way you don't have to keep putting your data in each time, because if you have a Zoom account, it's already there. So I would encourage you, there may be some people at this meeting who just click the link all the time and actually don't have a Zoom account and have to enter the information in. But I would encourage you, there's still, the Zoom accounts are free. Just create an account, and then you don't have to keep re-entering your information in. Drew, go ahead.
Oh, and for those of you who have either Android phones or use Gmail, what I do is I put in a recurring meeting on Mondays that has the Zoom link as the location of the meeting. And then if you do create your own personal Zoom account, in your profile at the very bottom, you can link your Google Calendar to your Zoom account. And every time you launch Zoom, it will look at your today's calendar and populate Zoom, the app, with your Zoom meetings. And all you have to do is click on the button join.
Right. And of course, our meeting ID never changes. It's always the same.
I have notes up, but it's just blank.
Well, at the top, do you see, I think it was on the top of mine. It said you have to click on, there's one more step you have to do. It says I think it's collaborate. You have to click on, no,
Nope.
Bill's.
Just click on the show notes. Hold on a second. Let me bring it back up.
Yeah,
Nope.
mine's working again.
Yeah, TFS Agenda 9/25/2023 is the last item. If you click on that, then it will open up the agenda.
It sounds like it's changing even in the meeting for some people. So they're probably working on it. So probably by the next meeting, it should.
It's a new
work
feature.
itself out.
It's a new feature
Yeah.
that's just come out.
Okay, but it's taking up a eighth of my screen, and when I click the X at the end, it just goes, I lose you guys.
No, you don't have to do that. Just any of the buttons on the bottom will overlay it. So if you click on chat or participants, it will just overlay on top of the notes.
Yeah, but I've lost my screen of seeing what the program is. Never mind. It's okay, guys. I like to get rid of it, I think is what I'm trying to say, because
the X all the way to the right on the
I know that,
notes.
Bob, I click that and I get a center piece of notes again. It covers the entire screen.
There are two things there. One of them expands it and make it big to cover the whole, and right next to it is the X that closes the actual notes.
I'm on the X, and when I click it, the whole picture goes away. I see Zoom, a white screen with Zoom. Close all tabs. I don't want to close all the tabs on my computer.
There's another
You're coming in
below that.
You're coming in through the browser, not through the app.
Okay. All right. That's my problem. No.
Yep.
All right. Well, and again, we're just experimenting around with this, but as I said, if you do have something you want to share with everyone and you have some stuff written down or something, it's a great way to put in there, and you can put it in before the show and then just share it with everyone. So I think it's a pretty cool feature. Let's have a look.
Can you import a note from like a PDF or something that okay.
Sure.
You can just put something in that you've done before.
Yep.
Great.
Yep. Copy and paste it in, whatever you want to do. You can put it in the note and then you just share it with people. So that's sort of cool. Well, I'm going to have some fun with it and experiment, but I'm going to put the agenda, because I always print. I got my cheat sheet here, which is all my agenda and notes, and I don't have to do that anymore. I save on paper. I'll just put it in the notes, and I can run my agenda so I know what's happening.
When I expand my notes at the bottom, it shows your Premier link, and it shows the topics that are covered in the Premier, in addition to the agenda.
Yeah, it's all there. And I believe if you click that link, I think it's a dynamic. No, yep, it is a dynamic link. So you can click the link and it'll take you right to the video. So that's even better. It's even a dynamic link. I guess we'll have to do a video on how to update your Zoom client.
And just when you do that, they'll change the way it works.
Yeah.
Well, the other problem is that some people come in via the app and some
Right.
come in via the internet. And
Right.
there's a difference of what you can
Correct.
do
Right.
depending on whether you have the app or don't have the app. And
Right.
if you don't have the app, you're going to have a problem with notes.
Right.
Okay.
And from my video on Windows, the update to 23H2, it looks like there's going to be a lot of really neat things that are going to be part of Windows and of the Office, which is now Microsoft 365. So there's going to be a lot of changes. So if you don't like change, I think you're going to find it difficult to work with.
Here you
Terry?
go ahead.
Yeah, I had my TAVR operation last Monday. Still today, not supposed to drive, but he did the program on a new computer. We had a little discussion then, but my son brought me a new HP NV. Yeah, it was MV. And so I'm working with it, getting it back up. But thank you for your help in helping me get a new computer.
Well, I'm glad it's working out.
And I'm glad your TAVR worked well. I know mine, it was a little over a year and a half ago. And I was very pleased with the way it worked, the way it worked out.
Well, in the workup for the TAVR, they noticed a mass on my what is it? Pancreas. And so I'm quite interested to find out. They referred me to somebody, but he hasn't contacted me yet. But I had a cousin die of pancreatic cancer, and so I'm looking at that in the future.
Hey, on top of it, if they don't contact you, contact them back. Don't let it linger.
I plan to do that this afternoon, but finding mentally I'm a little slow. Somebody says the anesthetic sometimes causes that, but I was about to write down on my tablet here the name of the program, and I got senior, and it wasn't until I saw Tech for Senior that came up. But not quite back to normal, but hopefully I'll get there, and I thank you people.
Keep us posted. Thanks a lot.
Yep.
Thanks, Gary. Carl,
right.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I have passed on a friend of mine who, a close friend, he been in the hospital for about a week. He had bumped his head on something sharp. I don't know, a door, something or another. And he, thought it was fine and, it didn't seem to bother him. But what unknown to him, he had bleeding in the brain. And and what he's telling everybody, he doesn't want to talk about it. He showed his head where they cut a big piece out of his skull to drain the blood in his brain. And that he said, if you bump your head and you think, oh, I'm okay, go and get a CAT scan, period.
All right. Thanks, Carl. Good information.
An ounce of prevention is worth the rest of it.
Very good. All right. Well, if that's the last of our questions, I guess, what do you think, Hewie? That's a wrap for today?
I think it's a wrap. We had a good program, a lot of good information.
Indeed.
I hope everybody enjoyed it. And if you are watching the replay on the video, make sure you like the video and do subscribe to all of our channels to help us.
Right. And don't forget, in the coming up at ℏ on a premiere event will be solar panels, the final version with Mike. Editing movies. I'm going to show you how to edit to change the aspect of a Google Photos movie, and traffic cams, and Huey's going to talk about traffic cams. So
yeah, that was a fun one I did on traffic cams.
Yeah, it's good. So that will all be coming up at ℏ. So don't forget, drop by and see us on Thursday. We're having should be a good talk on Thursday, and we'll be back next week. Huey will be at the helm. I get next week off, so we'll talk to you. See you and everyone next week. Bye now.
See you then, folks.
Bye-bye.